Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making gnudi with sage brown butter, peas, and prosciutto. There's going to be a lot that's happening, so let's get started. So for this dish, we need a pound of low moisture ricotta cheese, and we do need to strain this for about an hour. You can do this in a strainer if that's what you prefer, but I like to do this in a little cheesecloth. So I tip it in, tie the top closed in a little knot, and I have the shelf over my workbench that is slatted. So I'm going to actually take this cheesecloth, tie it to the slats, put a little bowl underneath, and let that hang for about an hour. I know that looks crazy. So after an hour, we can release the ricotta. You can see it's gotten a little bit more compact. Just popping that into a large bowl. And to this, we're going to add 1 ounce of finely grated parmesan cheese, and a teaspoon of kosher salt. And then we're going to use either a stiff spatula or wooden spoon to mix this up as thoroughly as possible. We want that parmesan to be incorporated throughout our ricotta. Once that's thoroughly mixed, we're going to transfer this over to a piping bag. You can use a Ziploc if you don't have piping bags, but I like to put mine in glass just because it keeps it neater. Now this is a recipe from April Bloomfield. She owns the Spotted Pig that has since closed, which is a shame because these gnudi get rave reviews all over the internet. They're a little harder to make because there's no binder, and these like no egg and very little flour. Now in a parchment lined baking sheet, I'm using kind of a deep baking sheet here. We're going to sprinkle on 3/4 pound of semolina flour, and we're also going to set aside 1/4 cup to the side. Then we're going to take our piping bag and pipe out these long strips of these gorgeous little ricotta dumplings. Now, full disclosure, I did try to make these last weekend. You can see from the picture, it turned out to be a hot mess. I boiled them for far too long. These don't need long to cook. I boiled them for 8 minutes and they all but disappeared. And I was completely disappointed because these are kind of a commitment and they are a lot of work. So once everything is piped out, we're going to take some clean kitchen shears and just chop these into 1.5 to 2 inch pieces. Then we're going to take each piece, sprinkle it with a little semolina, and just start forming these into little, fat little logs. You're going to do this to all of them. Once they're all formed, we can take that extra semolina flour and just sprinkle that right over the top. Then we're going to cover these with plastic wrap, and these need to sit in the fridge for 3 days. And now you're thinking, Amy, you're nuts, but the moisture has to absorb. So you're going to go in once a day and flip these over once. And I know this is a lot, but it's worth it. Now it's been 3 days. I have 3/4 cup of peas, just adding some hot water because they've already been flash frozen. I just want to reheat them. I have 3 little things going on my stove. So in a small pot, I've added 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. We want to start browning that. In our larger pan, we are going to crisp up 6 pieces of prosciutto. Once your butter gets frothy and golden, pop in 20 sage leaves, and we're going to fry those for 2 minutes. You can't eat sage raw. It does not taste good. And in a large pan that's large enough to hold all of your gnudi, you're going to start heating up some water and salting it when it comes to a simmer. Once all your prosciutto has gotten all nice and crispy, we're going to take that out and crumble that. And we can take out the sage once it's fried, but you want to hit that with some salt immediately. That's the last of the prosciutto. Next time, I will not deglaze in the same pan because it turned the sauce a little brown. I'll start fresh. So you want to take a ladleful of that salty pasta water and add in 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter and just cook that until that butter melts. Our butter in our pot is brown. We can set that aside. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Trust me. So in our salted water, we're going to drop in our gnudi. Do not stir this. Just give the pan a gentle shake and cook that for 2 minutes only. After 2 minutes, we're going to transfer that over to our water butter prosciutto pan. This is our sauce. And again, no stirring, just shake that. Added in all the gnudi. We're going to add in those rewarmed up peas and just let that cook until that sauce starts to thicken, which should take about 2 minutes, and it should look like this. We're going to dress with our brown butter, our crumbled prosciutto, and our crispy sage, and we're going to finish with grating fresh parmesan. Now, let's go ahead and give these a taste. I'm super excited to try these after all this work. The ricotta is creamy and luscious. You get a little sharpness from that parmesan. You get that freshness from these pops of peas. That sage adds herbaceousness, and that prosciutto adds this hammy saltiness. These are absolutely delicious, and I'm so glad I didn't let this defeat me. But there it is, gnudi with sage brown butter, prosciutto, and peas. I really do hope you all try to make this. It is a lot, I know. But thank you all so much for taking some time out of your day to spend some time with me. I really do appreciate it. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you loved it, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell because I put out new videos every Thursday. Thank you again, and until next time, happy cooking.